Now, the name of the border officer that was shot has been released. Her name is Lori Bocock. She is expected to make a full recovery. The shooting happened right behind me on the far left lane closest to the building.
With the Thanksgiving long weekend, Canadian Blood Services needs more than 14,000 donors and 1,700 here in the province of British Columbia. Their goal is to raise awareness and let people know how much blood is needed. What better way to do that than through social media? Now, if you do give blood, they're asking you to post a picture, video, or message to Twitter. You can leave it at their handle. It's in you to give. And they're also asking to leave a special hashtag at the end, 14,000 thank yous. If you haven't given blood, you can call 1-888-2-DONATE or visit CanadianBloodServices.ca. So despite multiple calls to the city to find out why they originally fined Mail Essentials and then took that fine away, none of our calls have been answered. So in the meantime, the pole behind me will stay the same color, the people inside Mail Essentials will stay happy, and everybody driving down Nelson on the way to their commute can view a little piece of artwork. We still haven't been able to contact the city, but Clarence, who is the owner at Mail Essentials, he did get contacted last week and was told by the city that they will be working together to find a solution. Now, really, the only two solutions here are either to repaint the pole green, which is the same as the other lampposts in Vancouver, or leave it the color it is now. Now, on a side note, Clarence told us that the city told him that they had no idea why the fine was given, and he asked if it was because of the 24-hour article. When he got a response, "I have no idea." Back to you.
Thousands of vehicles pass through border stations to and from Canada and the United States with no conflict. On October 16th, when passing through, Andrew Michael Cruz allegedly shot a border official before taking his own life.
Now, the name of the border officer that was shot has been released. Her name is Lori Bocock. She is expected to make a full recovery. The shooting happened right behind me on the far left lane closest to the building.
The closure of Peace Arch for more than 24 hours added volume and wait times at other crossings, also raising the question of how safe our border guards are. Joshua Labove is an expert at SFU on border services and knows new plans might need to be implemented.
There are programs and policies in place in the near future to arm border guards, which I think is probably the question that seems to be on everyone's mind today is, will they be arming border guards, and should this border guard have been armed, and would that have made things better? This gentleman in particular took that liberal gun control policy to its furthest fringe, to the Washington, BC border.
Although this incident is shocking, cases such as this involving border guards are not by any means a regular occurrence.
It's a crime. It's a devastating crime, but it's one that needs to be handled as the isolated incident that I think it appears to be.
There is no update as of yet on increased measures at Canadian borders in coming weeks, but at very least a review of protocol will be made to ensure the safety of all heading across our country's borders. Scott Austin in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine. It may look like your run-of-the-mill barber shop, but recently this one has been surrounded by controversy. Clarence De Silva is the owner of Mail Essentials on Nelson Street and said the city wouldn't answer his request to clean up graffiti on the lamppost.
We've had graffiti on our pole for a month and a half that was offending everyone around us, and the city just took their time, didn't even respond back to us, didn't even make an attempt to make us feel like they were dealing with it.
Clarence took the story to 24-Hour Vancouver, and just days after it was published, the city retracted their notice of fine with no indication as to why.
Kind of gives you an idea of what their intentions were, right? Like, their motivations weren't to better this block or to resolve this graffiti issue. Their motivations by helping us out was purely because of the bad press they got after the 24 hours coverage.
In the short time it's been there, the new paint job has gotten positive feedback.
As an artist, I say just let's keep it. The city have to appreciate these kinds of things.
I told them straight up, I told them to take their time because I love the pole. Everyone who walks by loves the pole, and it helps us stand out a little bit. That can't hurt, especially with everything else going on around us right now with construction.
So despite multiple calls to the city to find out why they originally fined Mail Essentials and then took that fine away, none of our calls have been answered. So in the meantime, the pole behind me will stay the same color, the people inside Mail Essentials will stay happy, and everybody driving down Nelson on the way to their commute can view a little piece of artwork. Scott Austin in Vancouver for BCIT Magazine.
This is what minor hockey coaches usually do, spending hours a week at the rink teaching players the fundamentals of the game, from basic skating to breakouts and power plays. This is what happens when things go wrong. Recently, video was caught of this Vancouver coach tripping 2 players in the post-game handshake. More recently, a coach was banned for 10 years after punching a player during a scrum in front of the bench.
It's basically the emotions, right? You know what? Most of the coaches are all players. They might have played junior, they might have played minor hockey too. But you know, in hockey, right, it's a passionate game. They get very passionate about the game. They get really heated up. You know, if something goes wrong, the wrong call. Like they're playing the game too. So, sometimes emotion does get in the way, but it's unacceptable, right? No matter how you lose your temper, how you, get mad, right? They're kids. You still have to control yourself.
Although shocking, Ho knows these cases are the exception.
It's right, and the coaches, things happen. It's a small minority of coaches that do go out of hand. Majority of coaches are all very well disciplined. They are there for the kids.
Programs to teach coaches are more advanced than Surrey minor hockey coach Robert Shuck had.
When I first coached, probably less than 10 years ago, I was coaching my daughter's team, and I was basically asked to coach just because they were short of coaches. I didn't really have to have any accreditation, although now you've got to go through a lot of different things, respect in sport. The coaches even end up taking the Hockey Canada safety program as well, because we're usually the first ones to the players.
Although cases like this could cause concern for hockey parents, most know it's not time to worry just yet.
I think generally the coaches are, good intention, good people, but you can always tell the personality that is a little too competitive and perhaps should be doing something else, not coaching. So far, no issue, great coaches all the way along, yeah.
When coaches do step out of line, they can be reprimanded by their local associations, as well as the league and even all the way up to Hockey Canada if the incidences are severe. This reminds coaches that it may be Canada's game, but at such a young age, it's still just a game. Scott Austin in Surrey for BCIT Magazine.